story. For too long, the disappearance of the Yuba County Five has been framed around their supposed disabilities, with the men often dismissed as helpless or childlike. This characterization is misleading. Each of them had strengths, routines, and personalities that their families knew well. They were socially awkward at times, but they were not the dimwits some commentators have since cruelly labelled them as. They were capable adults with fulfilling lives, whose routines and bonds of friendship mattered deeply to them. Understanding this is crucial. It reshapes how we view not only the men themselves, but also the assumptions that have shaded this case for decades. To appreciate why the narrative of vulnerability and incapacity has lingered so strongly, we must return to the events of the 24th of February 1978, and to the men at the centre of this enduring mystery. In the unlikely event that you have not heard this story before, we will provide a brief recap of what happened. However, we strongly recommend going back and listening to our original episode on the case for a fuller account. The five men at the heart of this case were Ted Weir, aged 32, Jack Hewitt, 24, Bill Sterling, 29, Jack Madruga, 30, and Gary Mathias, 25. All were connected through a non-profit program called Gateway Projects, which provided employment, coaching, and support for those living with developmental or psychiatric challenges. Many pointed to their involvement with Gateway as proof that these men were slow, or to use the terminology of the time, mentally retarded. This portrayal was deeply unfair. In modern terms, most of the group would likely have been recognised as being on the autism spectrum, with traits consistent with what we now call Asperger's. They were not unintelligent, nor incapable. The only one with a diagnosed psychiatric illness was Gary Mathias, who had schizophrenia. Yet even in his case, family members said he had been stable for 2 years thanks to treatment and medication. The five shared a strong bond through basketball. They played for Gateway's team, the Gators, and were due to compete in a big tournament on the morning of the 25th of February 1978. The night before, on the 24th, they drove Jack Madruga's 1969 Mercury Montego north from Yuba City to Chico to watch UC Davis take on Chico State. The journey was about 50 miles, and they cheered enthusiastically as UC Davis secured the win. What happened on the drive home remains the central